Dave, come sit down next to me. Let's talk.
We have to talk.
Come closer to me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so let me just catch you up to speed. I had my blood work done at the doctor's office, and I got the results back, and they said I have the blood work of a 30-year-old. I'm 55.
Good, so you can stop obsessing with your health.
No, because I've been obsessed. I have health anxiety. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's not talk about that. I want to talk about something that's so devastating to me.
You're still mourning.
Horrible. I'm mourning. If you haven't seen the new Sex and the City and Just Like That, if you haven't seen those 2 episodes, there's only 2 so far. If you haven't seen it, turn this off right now. Go watch some of my other videos. Go twiddle your thumbs. Do whatever. But we're about to spoil like the major issue that happens there. And honestly, if you don't care, turn it off. If you care or you don't know what's going on, turn it off. If you don't know what's going on, I don't know what kind of rock you've been living under, but you've been living under one.
Your best friend was under a rock.
Who's that?
Becky.
Well, she doesn't.
She didn't watch the show.
No, she doesn't like the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I have always really loved the show. In fact, here's the thing about that show. The show is that I'm the same age as those women, and so when they were going through, that show, Sex and the City, a lot of what they were going through resonated with me because I was dating and mating and chasing after my dreams. Maybe not in the big city, but then my friend Becky was in the big city. Anyway. Also, Sarah Jessica Parker, she started a knitting craze when I opened my yarn shop 20 years ago. She was knitting on the set. And so for a while, knitting became mainstream because of her. So she's filming this new show, and Just Like That. So they've resurrected, I guess it's been 16 years, they've resurrected their show, and they call it And Just Like That because that's what she would say all the time in the first show. Big was always, he's a bad guy, but I was always obsessed with him and always thought he was just like the perfect man. Rich and successful and a bad guy. He wasn't very nice to her. I mean, he wasn't.
That's what you like.
Yeah, but I married you, and you're a great guy. Anyway, everyone should be dating and marrying nice guys. But you know how some women are. So Big was like my guy. Sarah Jessica Parker was a part of my life and knitting, and we're exactly the same age, and the whole thing just resonated with me. High heels, I only wore heels all the time, everything about it. So when the new show, when Big dies, it was like someone that I love died. I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it. Do you have anything to say about it, Dave?
Like I said before, I'm sorry for your loss.
But you were sad too.
I know, I was. I was sad because you were sad. I'm going to catch it up. We're sitting in bed watching it, and then, I get emotional watching stuff.
Yeah, you do. I thought you were really, really upset, though. I thought you were tearing up.
Well,
I was actually openly weeping.
Yeah. But I've openly wept in front of shows before, if they're that intense. So it's not unusual. I've cried in every Broadway show I've ever watched, but that's different.
Really?
Yeah, every single one. Whenever you get to an emotional point in a Broadway show, because there's a real person up there going through it, I'll just fall apart. So.
And you know what was weird is then the Peloton came out. I'm sorry, I'm going back to.
Yeah.
And then Peloton came out with an ad that showed him, still big, still alive. And I know it's to try to save their sinking stock portfolio or whatever the cost of their stock, because it's in a nosedive, it's in the death spiral. But just seeing him on screen still playing big somehow made it okay. But I think one of the reasons that it really upset me is the fact that it's so close to home, as in so much about that show, if you aren't that age or older, you don't really understand that it is hard deciding whether to dye your hair. It is hard to decide whether you're going to have a facelift or not. Your husband could be dropping over dead of a heart attack. Our friends are starting to die. So there's so much about that show that was so touched my.
Yeah, it pulled the strings, that's for sure. Good writers on that show.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny at the end of the Peloton commercial that they said he's still alive.
Yeah, well, like I said, their stock is in a death spiral. And of course they don't want people to think you could die by getting on the Peloton, but extreme exercisers, they typically do have some problems, especially if they have heart disease. All right, so I guess, I won't talk about that anymore. Do you want to talk about the shows that we are watching right now? We have some current shows that we are currently watching. Okay, we're watching Foundation, His Dark Materials, Jon Stewart's new show, Succession. What else are we watching?
Well, we finished, what was the sci-fi show? Darn.
Foundation?
No, the one with all the episodes about computer stuff. I can't remember the name now. Black Mirror.
Oh, Black Mirror.
Yeah.
God, that was so good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
There are some of those episodes in Black Mirror that I'll never forget.
Yeah, they kind of stick in your head, not in a good way.
No, not in a good way. Yeah, I recommend that. Definitely. What else? Is there anything else that we're watching?
Now I'm going to forget, but, well, I mean, we've got older shows that we're still waiting on.
Like what?
New episodes.
Okay, what?
Grace and Frankie and
which is not good anymore,
yeah,
but now we're just
kinda
morbidly
committed.
curious to
Yeah.
see how they're deteriorating.
There was another show we were watching in tandem with that, and I can't remember what it was, but because I'm old and I can't remember.
Near death.
There's that.
You gonna get on the Peloton?
Not really. Yeah, I'm on the Peloton, and so because of that scene, now it's everyone. I have to get back on the Peloton, and it's like, I know it's not the Peloton that did that, so I'm not stupid, but
well, Becky Julia has a guy that his name was Howie, and he was an executive or one of the top lawyers in her firm in New York, who was a big Peloton guy. They actually did a Peloton tribute for him. I'll link a video of him. He did a TED Talk. I'll link him below. But I believe he died after a Peloton ride. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he did.
Yeah.
But he was an extreme marathon runner, and he had heart disease, all of that. But, okay, can you think of any other shows?
Other shows we're watching.
I feel like there's something I'm missing I'm not thinking of. What did we finish that we really, well, His Dark Materials we loved.
Well, the show about where there's two different worlds and they go back and forth. What's that called?
Counterpart?
Yeah.
Well, we finished that a long
I
time
know,
ago. That was last Christmas.
Well, I know, but I mean...
We literally finished that this time last year.
I know. But wasn't there something like that we watched in between?
No.
You're asking me to remember stuff, and that's
His brain is gone. He has late-stage Alzheimer's.
Well, don't. I'm on the list for late stage.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm working on my blanket. from a homespun house. Link below. I'll tell you, I'm double stranding it. So I'm using her Advent minis, and then I'm also using one of my cones that I make my baby grands with. I'm using this cone and knitting it together at the same time, 2 strands at the same time. Love doing it, but there's only one problem with that. I can never take my eyes off my knitting. Like every time that I look up, because I can knit without looking, every time I look up, I split the stitch and I don't catch one of the strands. So if anybody has a good idea on how to not do that, please comment below. And if you have any other good shows that you think we should be watching, please comment below.
Yeah, because we're running out.
We're running out, so help us. Okay, so
we started watching Yellowstone, but
yeah,
didn't
and I
quite
want to go
grab
back
it.
to that. I want to give that a try because people
Yeah.
really love that show.
Yeah.
So I want to go back and watch that again.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that we just watched one show of and then we didn't go back to it?
Usually we give them another try because it usually takes a couple to get really hooked.
Well, that was Succession. Like you didn't want to really watch that again, and I did.
Yeah, I was just annoyed by the people, but that's.
Yeah, well, they're horrible people.
Yeah, everybody in the show is bad in one way or the other, so that's kind of annoying. There's no good. There's no
No,
good people.
they're all really morally bankrupt
They're just
people.
chewing each other up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. But that's not a spoiler. That's just
No,
the show.
that's no. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna get back to it. Yes, kids are gonna be home pretty shortly from school, so we got to make their little snack. And Marcella has tennis this afternoon,
And I've got to design a ball band for you.
and he has to redo a ball bands for me. I'm sending a big order to Stephen B. And I actually have some cashmere skeins that I dyed up in the special. I said I would never dye the special again, but we dyed some just for him for Christmas. So we're going to ship that big box out at the end of this week so you guys can run into his store and get some stuff. Or maybe just go online and get it. Yeah, anything else?
I can't think of one.
Okay. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. You won't see him tomorrow, but you'll see me tomorrow. Okay? Bye. I want to open this package that I got from a friend, an Instagram friend who I have not met in person yet, but she sent me this in the mail from California, and I want to open it. First of all, look at how pretty the packaging is. But there's something really special inside. She hand pottered, whatever you want to call this, a little palette. Isn't that beautiful? She sent me one of these before, but isn't that beautiful?
And Dave appropriated the
Oh my God! So she bought some of my agate, hot sock agate, and she made me a Musselburgh hat. Holy, now Musselburgh hat, if you remember, is this really, really long hat by Isolde Teague, and then you put it inside itself and you make a hat. I can't believe this. Oh my gosh. You're the best. You know who you are. I don't know if I want to mention your name because I don't want to embarrass you, but oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Let's see if I can put this, no. Look at this. This is the best hat ever. My God, look at that. Oh. Oh my gosh, thank you, thank you.
Hey! Welcome. So good to see you, Julia. Don't you look great? Merry Christmas, everybody.
We got food coming in.
All right.
When you can, I'll just need a big spoon.
Yeah. This looks
Spoon?
wonderful. Oh, I got the Brussels sprouts. These scallops are really